Hey guys, Christian the Haver Card Man from the Coalition of Scrubs coming at you today with another D-Time card discussion video. And this time today, I'm going to be telling you why Borreload Savage Dragon is not that savage. But before we get into it, be sure to hit that subscribe and that bell notification down below so you guys can stay updated on all of the Coalition's future uploads. Because it's not only me, there are several other awesome Yu-Gi tubers here making you guys some awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content. And all of their channels will also be linked down in the description if you want to go check them all out, give them all some love. Mine will also be down there if you want to check me out too. And just go show us all some support. These guys really deserve it. They're awesome content creators and they really need the love. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into today's card discussion on why Borreload Savage Dragon really is not that savage. Now, I make so many of these discussion videos that I know so many people disagree with, but that's why I love making them, because I love seeing the controversy and the discussions that come out of them. That's why this whole series is called D-Time. It's discussion time. We're here to chat about cards and give our own personal opinion on card theory. Now, there are a few different reasons why I feel Borreload Savage Dragon is not that strong. Now, obviously, with Master Rule 5, he does become a lot stronger, because now you can just special summon him wherever you want on the field. You don't have to worry about link arrows or any of that nonsense. You can just bring him out wherever you want to. And the nice thing about him is he is a generic level 8 synchro monster, which makes a lot of people have easy access to him and makes him really easy to splash into a lot of decks, because level 8s are like the easiest synchro monsters to get into. Now, some of the downsides of this, okay, well, we'll go over everything about the card itself first. So, obviously, like I said, level 8 monster, so considered as with plenty of other plays, including Exceeds, Synchro spamming, there's a few link cards that can bonuses off of it. He's a dark monster, super synergizes with so many different strategies. There's so many things that like darks, as well as super polymerization, loves dark monsters, which we'll get into that later. He's a dragon synchro effect monster. The synchro doesn't really affect much. The dragon part, however, makes him fit into a whole slew of support cards and also anti-support cards. The effect monster, once again, doesn't really do much. Most monsters nowadays are effects, and, I mean, they can usually be negated 9 times out of 10. He has a 3,000 attack point body and a 2,500 defense. So he fits the stat line of the Blue Eyes Dragons. That really doesn't affect anything either. He's just a large beat stick. But when you get to his effect, when he's synchro summoned, you can equip one link monster from your graveyard to this card, and if you do, you can place Borreload counters on it equal to that link monster's link rating. He also gains attack equal to half the attack of the monster equipped to it by its effect. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to be sitting in like the mid to high 3,000s of attack points because of the boost, because most people aren't putting like link 4s onto this guy. They're usually like link 2s or 3s just to get a couple of gates, because once per turn, as a hard once per turn and as a quick effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can remove one Borreload counter from it, or from this card, to negate the activation. It does not actually destroy the card, just negates the activation. So this is kind of a nerfed down Appaloosa in a way, but at the same time a little bit stronger, because it doesn't lose attack points from negating, it just gets rid of counters. The thing about this guy, though, is that he requires a decent amount of setup, because first things first, you have to get a link monster into your graveyard. Okay, that's not impossible. It's really easy to do, because you can just link off the link monster to link climb and go into different things. Or, for example, you pull out a needle fiber and you use it for a link cross. You get some tokens. Okay, you know, that's cool. You get a link monster in the graveyard. That's not hard. The next thing is you also have to, on the same turn, be able to set up the means to go into a level 8 synchro monster, which means you have to set up a lower level tuner and enough monsters to get you to level 8. No more, no less. If you can pull that off, boom, you can pull out the Borreload Savage Dragon and get some negates. But now, the thing is, you have to hope that your special summon of Borreload Savage Dragon doesn't get negated if you're going second. If you're going first, well, then you don't really have as much of a problem, because there's not much your opponent can do to stop it. Now, the issue is, though, is that since he only gets one negation per turn, that's where this card starts to dwindle a little bit. So there's a few different things that make this card easy to combat. One is just throwing out enough cards at your opponent that they use up their one negation, and then you still have another way to get rid of it. That is number one, because 9 times out of 10, people are going to be putting this monster in attack points, because its attack is actually going to be pretty decent. So, if you play a card on your turn that might seem vital to your strategy or just be a lure for the target from the Borreload Savage Dragon, that Savage Dragon's used up its negate for the turn. So what do? Slap down Lightning Storm. Or Raigeki, or Dark Hole. You know, anything that'll just get rid of that Borreload Savage Dragon. They've already used up their negate, there's nothing left they can do. Even if they have an Apollousa on board, if you're playing Spell or Trap card monster removal, they can't negate it. I mean, if they've used up their Borreload Savage negate and all they have left is an Apollousa, they're not going to be able to negate a spell card effect. So it's actually pretty easy to get rid of this guy, if we're being quite honest. And another means to get rid of it, obviously, if you're playing against like a Dragon Link deck that loves Borreload Savage Dragon, they get into it so consistently, it's not even funny. If they're playing a Dragon Link deck and they've got a few dragons on field, Super Polymerization works wonders. There's so many cards that use up dragon monsters as fusion material, like 5-headed dragon. If your opponent is just building up crazy boards that ends on like 5 dragons, you can almost consider just having a 5-headed dragon in your side deck, swapping it in between games, super polymerization it all away, and calling it a day. Or, of course, because he's a dark monster, and most of the time Dragon Link decks are going to have several dark monsters, you could easily go into Starving Venom or Mud Dragon in the Swamp. It's really not that hard to do. There's a few decks out there, like Planet Patrol right now, that can manipulate the attribute of a monster, so you can make it whatever attribute you want, super poly it away that way into a Mud Dragon. I mean, it's not hard to get rid of a Borreload Savage Dragon looking at it, and it's just one negate that makes a big body. But if you're playing the right cards, it's super easy to get rid of. And say, if you want to be really mean about it, if your opponent has the Borreload Savage Dragon set up, you play a card and they negate it, if you have a Ghost Ogre in hand, alright, you know, I mean, you negated my card, but bye-bye to your Savage Dragon. And if it was a monster that they negated, it doesn't even destroy the monster. So it's like, you still keep the body, and you get rid of their Borreload Savage Dragon, so you don't have to worry about any future negates. Same thing goes for if you're going first, if you're playing stuff like Prohibition, all of a sudden, now they can't play that Borreload Savage Dragon negates. Obviously, most people aren't going to be playing Borreload Savage going second, other than the fact that, like, you know, if they just need the big body on board, they might. But I guess Prohibition really wouldn't be that good in that sense. I mean, there's so many different scenarios. If you just have the right cards, you know, like, even if you DD Crow. If you have DD Crow in your hand and they go to a Borreload Savage Dragon, as soon as you see them summon, or like, as soon as you think that they're probably going to summon that Borreload Savage Dragon, get a chance to activate a DD Crow, banish the Link monster they're going to be attaching to it from their graveyard, and, I mean, if they don't have any other targets, there's nothing they can do about it, you know? Or if you ended up playing, I think it's Dimension Shifter. Yeah, if you have Dimension Shifter, you can just discard it from your hand, and then everything until the end of the turn that would be sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So now if they try to send a Link monster to the graveyard to set it for Borreload Savage, they can't. I mean, obviously there's a lot of like workarounds to this card that are a little bit too specific and just a little bit ridiculous just because, you know, they're more specifically tailored just to this card, but there are a few cards that could like actually work really well against just this, or against general archetypes that also affect this guy. So once again, really just having that one negate per turn and having one decent sized body is nothing that's like really overpowered, and I don't see it being worth the $45 price tag. Now, the only reason that it's that high in price, well, obviously is because of the demand, because there are people that are using it to slap it on a board or slap it into a board that already has like 5 or 6 negates just to get the extra one on there, because screw anybody who wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. That's just the state of the game right now. But also because of its rarity, like, there's not as many copies of it running around as there really should be, and I feel like this guy's probably going to get a reprint here before too long, which means the demand for it, yes, will go up, but so will the supply, so the price should drop decently enough. I could see it going down to like a $15, $20 card. I'm not like a market watch person, so I couldn't like say that for certain, but once again, this card is not as broken as a lot of people say it is. It's not hard to play around a Borreload Savage Dragon, and that's just what I want you guys to see. I'm not saying the Borreload Savage Dragon is a bad card in any means. I'm just saying that it is not as strong as many people make it out to be. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I really like talking to you guys and hearing your thoughts on these videos, because a lot of the time you guys disagree with me, and it just makes it a lot of fun being able to hear your guys' thoughts on the subject and why you disagree with me, and then allowing me to explain myself even further. So Thank you guys. I love you all so much. Your support is incredible. I can't believe the Coalition hit 100 subs. I'm recording this on April 27th. We just hit 101 today. We're probably a lot higher than that now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for the support. You're all incredible, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Remember to have fun and make your move. I'll see you next time. Peace out.